Hello and welcome. It is Nomadic Shaman here. Thank you for visiting my page. Today's video is centered around, you guessed it, gang stalking. This time I wanted to focus on what course of action can be taken when, in, or if you are experiencing gang stalking. Reason being, you can feel powerless. I know I did in the beginning. I mean, when I first became aware that I was being gang stalked, that was back in February and March of 2020. I recently noticed an incident that happened this week. So your girl is still being gang stalked. But the reason why I wanted to share this with you is because it's easy for you to feel powerless, easy for you to feel oppressed because you are being oppressed. Again, I felt like I was literally fighting in the dark, blindfolded and handcuffed. I didn't know what the hell was going on. And so my goal for doing this video and sharing this list is to have you all feel more empowered in that you can do something, okay? The other part that I wanted to let you know is because oftentimes it can feel like you're going against Goliath. Okay, you are going against manpower, technology, resources, funding, access. I mean, these gang stalking campaigns also have a spiritual component to it, where they have a telephone book of spiritual witch doctors, psychics, and spiritual practitioners that do spell work 24/7 around the clock. Okay, they have covens on speed dial, cults on speed dial. Okay, and that could be a lie. They have access to individuals who hold powerful and influential positions where it's just a matter of making a call and it's going to happen. Okay. So, because of that, that's why this video is so important to me. Okay. One other thing is I noticed that the targeted demographic tends to be, at least from my experience, and from my research and from my observations, have been single men and single women. Sometimes single women with small children, either in elementary or middle school, and maybe even high school. But I haven't really read that many testimonials or testimonies about those who have children in that age group experiencing that. But so that's what I'm sharing with you. And the main reason is because that target demographic tends to either have no support system, have a very small or little support system, or lives far away from their support system. Okay. So that's the reason behind it, because what they're doing would be more effective to those who have little to none, okay, support system, rather. So this list is long. Let's just go ahead and get to it. Let me make sure I said everything. Yeah, on my notes here. So I'm going to move here. The first thing, report it. You want to create a paper trail. Now, this may not help you in the moment, but it will help you in the end. Okay. So you want to report it. You want to create a paper trail. You want to retain your copies. If it's workspace, workplace, report it to HR, social platforms, report it to whatever platform you're on, FBI, local authority, sheriff, property management. If you're living in apartments, townhouse, HOA, neighborhood watch, you want to report it. Number 2, become your own private investigator, okay? Or hire one if you can afford it, and document everything, okay? That your intuition is guiding you to record. That is, focus on the details of people, places, and things you also that seem out of the ordinary. You also want to include dates, times, places, what took place, description of the people and the cars involved, take photos and video recordings, store them in multiple places for safekeeping, keep both written and digital notes, keep records of 911 calls, physical evidence, digital evidence, witness statements, prior history and victim documentation logs. And if there's any co-occurring crimes that go with that, also include that in your documents. So that would include sexual assault, harassment, battery, domestic violence, protection order violations, threats of bodily harm, voyeurism, vandalism, trespassing, forcible entry, burglary, doxing, and that's when they give your address out. This has happened to me. All of a sudden, I have people coming up in my front door, and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, my address was given out. Doxing, computer crimes, non-consensual distribution of intimate images. That is revenge porn and witness intimidation. That's number 2. Number 3, seek out legal advice to better understand your civil rights and gain justice with holding those accountable for their actions. Consult with professionals, experience in dealing with harassment and privacy violations to explore your options and take the necessary steps towards resolution. The next, you want to educate yourself and others on gang stalking, the practices and the tactics, okay? Because you want to bring exposure to what is happening in your community. This seems small and simple, but it is effective. When you can make a flyer that details all the things where your community can keep an eye out for you, this helps, because the reason why is because these gang stalkers likes to use your community against you. But if you jump in front of the horse and you hit them onto the game of what they can expect, rather than having them being turned against you because they're being fed information about you, and which is also part of the whole campaign thing. But if you jump or get in front of the game by literally passing out flyers to educate people on what gang stalking is and the practices and tactics behind it, then you're good. It's effective. The other one, number 5, you want to purchase indoor and outdoor cameras if you don't already have them. Okay. Preferably with USB cards, just in case the power goes out and you don't have, because in that instance, you still want to be able to use your cameras, because they like to fuck up with your electricity and your power too. That was in my previous video. You also want to check on your credit reports. We're at number 6. Okay, so you can sign up for alerts for any suspicious activities. If you discover anything is out of the ordinary, reach out and file a report with the FTC, the File Trade and Commission. Reason why this is so important is because they also like to attack you financially. Okay. And one of the ways that they do that is by affecting your credit report, your credit history. Okay. So you just want to check that for any type of suspicious activity and you want to stay on it. The number 7, you want to check to see if your name is on any life insurance policies fraudulently. Why? Is because these gang stalking campaigns, the goal is for you to be taken out, but for you to do it yourself, but yet they already have the life insurance policy to cash out on it should you do that. Okay, so you also want to check if anybody in the States, I don't know if there's one nationally. I'd have to do more research on that. But basically, if anybody has your name fraudulently on life insurance policies, okay? What number are we on? We are on number 8. Speak up and speak out, okay? Share your story about what you're experiencing to those you trust and confide in. And if you have a social media platform, share your story. Okay, on your social media platform. And in extreme cases, you can also get your story out on podcasts and mass media. Okay, because we want to bring the what's happening in the dark and bring it out to the light, y'all. Okay. So, and that happens where you speak up and you speak out. This one, y'all, I was late with, Um, I'm just now speaking about it, and I'll probably go into more detail about why that is in a later video. But for now, let's stick to the list. The next, number 9, ask for help. A closed mouth doesn't get fed. Do not just speak about your experience hoping that people will volunteer to help you. If you need help, you need to be very specific in your request. If you don't know what to ask for, here are some starting points that I wrote down. Ask for knowledge from experts in a specific area that you are looking to learn about, whether it's civil rights, gang stalking, hacking, cybersecurity, just to get you started. Ask for resources where you can go to obtain resources about the subject matter. Ask for connections, ask for guidance, ask for direction, especially from someone who is going through it. Okay, the key is to ask. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap it up with number 10. Change up your passwords. These folks like to hack. Change up your passwords and change it up often. Get in the habit of changing up your passwords often and not auto saving it on your computer, okay? Or get a VPN. And so that wraps up my list. At least for part 1. Come back for part 2. I got you. And until then, I'm out. Feel free to comment, like, share, and follow. And with that, I'm out.